Like any place we can get to that has dads that are somewhat miserable, and we can just slide them the New Dad Gaming Podcast QR code. It's like if you're really bored, you can listen to this.
That's right. We should go around and invest on getting the high score for every game. So you have New Dad Gaming at the top, and people are like, "Who is this person? What is going on?
Who is this NDG character? He's good at every game." Problem is, Jeff, neither of us are that good at games.
I mean, we could ask our audience wherever they are. High score NDG. Let us know.
Adult beverages are poured. The kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming. It's a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives.
My name is Trevor, and I have a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Back from a small break. We're right back into the flow of things. Didn't miss a beat. But one dad is tired, despite a... It's funny how, like, vacations... You'll say that to people, like, oh, I went on vacation. And it's like, oh, very good, you must be rested. It's like, no. I went on vacation with my kids.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite of the scenario, actually.
It is so nerve-wracking and exhausting. Oh, my God.
But they went very well, and that's actually where we're going to start the show today, with some gaming lessons learned. I think coming back from the trip. I won't bore everyone with the details of the trip itself. It was...
You're just fully tanned in front of us, right?
Yeah,
just
that's...
like this red, cherry red on you.
Cherry red would be more appropriate. I was strewn top to bottom in cloth, despite how hot it was. Because it's if you've ever had an awful sunburn on vacation, and being as pasty white as I am, I'm
not fun.
I'm talking horrific hat. My kids aren't old enough to be embarrassed yet.
Oh, that's good.
In a few years, I can't do this because I had this wide brim hat. I had full length arm swim shirt, just the whole 9 yards, sunscreen the entire time. No fun, no happiness.
But better safe than sorry.
They're not old enough to be embarrassed yet, so it doesn't matter. But I think they'll reflect back on photos like, what the heck were you wearing? Why did you go to the sunny place if this is how you're going to act?
You're in the pool with your clothes on, Dad. What are you doing?
So some gaming lessons learned. It proved to be super beneficial. Like my kids generally travel well anyways, but I mean their love of games and screens, it always pays off dividends, especially like on a plane, on a trip, like on a drive, always works out really great for us. Lessons learned: don't buy Amazon Fire tablets.
Good advice.
Don't be tempted. They come super cheap, especially every time of year, but they're just not good.
It's the Fire tablets, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they are? Yeah, okay.
They are. It's not stock Android. It's a super special little version that Amazon built. They don't have the same store. If you've bought anything on Android, it doesn't transfer. You have to buy them again. They're unintuitive. They're cheap. They don't have a good battery. They're not powerful. Like, it's just, they will fail you constantly. So we're loading up things for the trip. And actually, we had 2 of these. We made this stupid mistake twice. And one of them was just, this is garbage. We can't bring this one.
Okay.
The other one, we needed something, right? Because the other kind of lesson was that long-time listeners might recall that for my sons, for their Christmas, I got them both Chromebooks, like kind of more proper Chromebooks, so they could play Minecraft, some other educational games, given their good experience from school.
Really just Minecraft, but yes.
Yeah, basically just Minecraft. But they are laptops, and we looked at the weight of these things. It's like, we can't bring these on this is ridiculous. We can't do this. So all of my grandiose planning for these things out the window. Can't bring these tablets. So now I'm stuck with one stupid Amazon tablet. So dads, avoid these things. They're no good. And the other thing, I had to give my other son my iPad, which I honestly use in a professional capacity. Like, this thing basically is a work iPad.
Risky, man. Risky.
And it's like, man, I am not comfortable with those greasy little kid fingers touching this thing. What? I want to have these guys loaded up so it's going to be a smooth playing experience. So lo and behold, it worked out fine. I had to come back and just Windex the hell of it for like 3 hours to get the layers of kid grease off of it.
You can like Ziploc bag it and be like, all right, here you go. And there's grease protection and goobers.
And thanks to Amazon having a different store than any Android tablet, I had to rebuy Minecraft for what I believe is the 5th time now.
Oh, look at you.
Just keep buying it. This is
You're setting a record.
Keep taking my money. Minecraft is real great. But loaded it up. It all worked out great. It worked so well for the trip. They had a blast, and definitely, plan beforehand for all these kind of gaming experiences where there's going to be that airport layover. There's going to be this delay before you get on a bus. There's going to be the actual flight itself. Doing it pays dividends. iPads, I think, are the winners. This obviously comes with a premium, but the batteries are crazy. Games are the best. Everything works super smoothly. If you can't do that, Android tablets are great. Do not do Fire tablets.
The bottom rung. That's like the desperation, like back alley. Like, okay, you want a tablet for your plane ride? Here's some Amazon Fire tablets.
Jeez. So, the other thing that worked really great though was I had my little emulator device. So you remember too, like I have my $100 little black every possible 32-bit system game, and the kids adored that thing. That thing was a real hero. So nice. It was a bunch of Sonic, there was a bunch of Donkey Kong going on, and there was a bunch of Double Dragon knockoff. Like, I don't even know the title of it, but it seemed to me to be slightly offensive to Irish people. Type of stereotypes.
Yeah.
Two blokes going and just fighting through, just nondescript. Two dudes of Irish origin where they're making kind of fun of them fighting through
picking
alleyways.
Shamrocks and
just not
totally,
Ninja
I could see how horrible it is and just understand that they're trying to rip off like Double Dragon completely. They're like, let's change everything to Irish and we're good.
So if in your house, dads, you have anything that plays the retro titles, like loading it up, you'll be surprised at how engaging it can be for kids. Those old Mario titles, Sonic titles, anything Sega, Nintendo, it just holds sway even to this day. So that really helps on the plane. And for some reason, man, it was Angry Birds. It was a massive hit this trip.
That is such a blast from the past. I think that was my first iPhone game. Yep. Like my first ever iPhone, it was Angry Birds.
I don't know what to say. Like, especially on the iPad, like it looks fantastic and it just plays great. Kids love it. And when you're disconnected, when you're in airplane mode, they can't even hit you with all the nonsense ads they do anymore. So
I was about to say, yeah,
very pure, very good.
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah, so as plan it from avoid tablets, do it in that order as far as like devices, plan the trip. It went really great. So gaming, definitely the MVP of the whole experience.
Nice. Gaming dad win. Okay. Vacation dad win.
Vacation dad win. Now, speaking of dads winning by perhaps dubious means, we do have Jeff, you officially getting into a game we've talked about so many times on this show.
So many times. Yes, this is one that I never had a GameCube, and I think we discussed about that before. Where it's just
about
like,
you and everybody else, buddy.
Who ever actually had one? Do they exist? But one game I missed out on was Windwaker. So Zelda Wind Waker is just, it has that animation kind of cartoony style that everybody hated when this thing was launched, but now it's seen as like this gem of the Zelda series. And finally downloaded it, have it emulated on my Steamdeck, and oh my, I love this little game. I am just in such a happy place where these types of old games are smaller for one, and a little bit more compact for new dads that just want basic, like, okay, give me a small town with like 3 ways to go and I'm good, right? I don't need 60 million things to do.
Straight game, no chaser.
That's right. But this animation style is so adorable. Like the expressions on Link's face are hilarious. Like he gets pissed off and he gets mad at stuff, and I'm like, this is amazing. This is like me going through this thing. Like, you don't, there's one scene where like you don't get bombs, you have to go get them from the pirates that stole them from you, right? And Link's face when he realizes that like they stole the bombs that he was about to get was just like, what? Like, like, I don't want to do this. But I've just fallen in love with this game. It's very easy to play. And I got to a point though where some of the bosses, and the bosses aren't hard per se, but it's just like a lot of those old old mechanics of the camera getting in the way, like it'll like winch itself in the wall and you can't see the boss because it's too big, and I was dying. I was like, okay, enough of this. Let's do the Trevor route and hack this.
Why am I being the one pegged?
I'm just saying.
You're trying to turn me into a verb for cheating, and I'm not sure I'm comfortable with it. Oh,
what would Trevor do?
You really Trevored that one.
But it was just something I was not going to deal with, that kind of mechanic where like I am not going to go through, and these save points aren't that close to where you're dying. It's not that generous, so I just hack this thing, which is very easy to do in an emulation side of things. You're just like blip blop. I want infinite health, infinite magic powder, and like infinite swim endurance, and I'm set to go. So it just makes this game a lot more dad friendly because I just want to get through it. I just want to experience this thing and kind of move on. It's like one of those bucket lists of games that I've always wanted to play, and I don't want to get distracted and then end up putting it down and never coming back to it, because I think that's what we do a lot is it'll just go on the backlog and you won't ever get to it again.
What I like about it is in cheating.
Yes.
Go on. What I enjoy about it is just like you get to take the game down a few pegs.
Yeah.
Because it comes at you so proud of itself about how hard it's going to be. Like, oh, you're going to need 60 moonstones. It only comes in a full moon once every 30 days. You're going to need 60 of them, which will take 4 hours. You better get working. Type, 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 type. Here you go, jackass. Here's everything I need immediately.
Exactly. And that's what this game is kind of set up to be, where it's just like this vast open ocean.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to go to all these little islands in between your main quest. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to my main quest. I don't need your little heart fragments to earn a heart. I've got 20 of them. So I can totally see where this game is trying to like, hey, this little island over here can get some treasure and you could like be more powerful, and be like, nope, I already got that. I'm going to Ganon. Where's Ganon at? Let's go.
So 2 kid related questions. The first being, have your kids seen this and are they interested in it? Second question around that, how would you feel about them cheating? Because there's an angle for you where it's like you have, a job and responsibilities and kids. So in some ways you're not doing it because, this is hard. Anytime there's something that's hard, I'm just going to cheat. It's more the fact that like this is a source of enjoyment, and if I'm not enjoying the grind, let me get to what I want to. So, so the 2 factors, have your kids seen it? Do they want to play it? And how do you feel about them cheating on an older style game like this?
Okay, so the first one, I kind of feel bad about, because I had downloaded it and started playing it just to see if it was working, and I usually show off the games to the kids as I get them so we can kind of experience it together. And they know I've wanted to play this one for a while, but I was playing it and I kind of got addicted to like getting into the game and getting past the first world kind of thing. And they come by and they're like, "What are you playing?"
What's that, Dad?
I'm trying to hide it from them, kind of like when the kids kind of hide stuff, like treats from you. You're like, "What are you eating?" Nothing. But they're like, "You're supposed to wait for us to do this." I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm just seeing if it works. I'm testing it out. Like you're like unwrapping their game system before you give it to them at Christmas kind of thing. Like, I just got to test it. So they really want to at least watch me play it. And my youngest, who's 9, went through all Breath of the Wild themselves. So they are really into Zelda and want to get into this one. So I said, okay, well, after we're done, then maybe we can see, because I can just hook it up to the screen and have them not physically touch the Steamdeck, but a controller. So that's my compromise. But so they really want to get into it. Now, cheating, on the other hand. So my 9-year-old that wants to play it does not like anything with like timers. Doesn't like to be rushed in a game. Will totally like, nope, not happening. And sometimes in this game there are places where you need to like, hit the platforms before they disappear kind of thing. Otherwise you take damage. So in other games he has, like Terraria and even Minecraft, he's gone and gone online, got the mods to help them, and totally blown out the game to God mode. So to ease up that pressure, so I can I can see them doing it in this one if I showed them. But I don't think they would want to finish it if I didn't show them the option, if that makes sense, right? Like they would get frustrated at certain points where like, no, I don't like this pressure, which I totally understand, right? The games should be an unwinding thing for some people, and other people like that pressure. But if I showed it to them, I think they would give it a go for a little bit and then end up on that menu where you just click off what you want.
No, none of this. No more hits, no worries about that.
That's right. Like, yeah, you could power up everything. You can get the Master Sword right away if you wanted to. So
yeah, because I mean, like with my kids and Minecraft, because of all the videos they'll watch of other people playing it, they're well aware of cheats and other crazy things. And largely for them right now, it's more about, oh, if I type this in, I'll have 50 pandas show up, and that's hilarious. And like, you know, they're like, oh, let's make this tree 1,000 foot. Yeah. So they're kind of they're interested in that modifications of the game. They call them mods. But as far as like this, I guess what I'm worried about is if I introduce it to them and it's like anytime it gets hard, I just want to cheat. Like I want them to have some tenacity of it. I don't care for them to suffer like we suffered through bad games.
We did suffer, Trevor. We did suffer.
Well, games like, think about it, when we were coming up, the whole purpose of games was to steal quarters. Like you were supposed to die.
Yes.
And that persisted well into Super Nintendo. So we were playing games that were designed to take quarters from people. This wasn't about having a good time. This wasn't about having fun. It was about taking quarters from people in a system that didn't require quarters. Yeah. Like it was stupid, right? Like, but eventually we did get past, and especially now, I think we're kind of in a golden age of people accessibility where it's like just play games, have fun. This is good. So I don't necessarily care to, especially if they started to play some of the older ones, I don't care to punish them. It's like, well, I suffered, you will too.
Yeah.
But there is some nuance to it where it's like when you come up against a challenge, you just have to practice, you know, critically think about what you did, get better, try again.
Yeah.
You know, so there's kind of this fine line between, I don't want you to go the easy route, but I don't care for you to be unnecessarily punished by bad design.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think giving my kids the benefit of the doubt, they would spend the time to beat this thing on their own. Like, and I think that they just even dexterity wise, they'd be like, this is nothing to me. What are you doing, Dad? Struggling.
Why do you need cheats?
I don't know what you mean. Yeah, exactly. So I think they would run through this game no problem. But some of the older mechanics where it's just like no save file for a while and stuff like that, totally frustrating. Like you said, it's just trying to eat quarters or like eat rental fees at some point. So yeah, I think they can do the difficulty when they're challenged and, you know, open up the cheat menu if they, you know, if one of these games comes along and it's like, we don't really need to go through all these old mechanics again.
Man, we're watching some footage of Windwaker. Man,
so beautiful.
I forgot how amazing that sailing mechanics were. That's beautiful.
It's so beautiful, and the water it's perfect. I don't know how they did it, but it's, you know, the cartoony style, but it feels like you're inside this world, this cartoon, and it's so serene until like storms come and you're like trying to avoid cyclones and stuff. You're like, whoa, like I just want to be on the open sea again.
Oh, that is beautiful stuff.
It's so nice.
Well, good. Keep cheating. Keep playing. You do you, buddy. Glad to have you on board. Now, not exciting. Like, it was frustrating for myself, and I could get it. I showed the next story to Jeff, and he's like, "Oh man, I'd play that all night. No wonder your kids did what they did." So Jeff backed up my kids more than I did.
That's right, I did. Yeah.
So we ended up at an arcade. It was nearby a shopping place where my wife had to go for a while. I was like, let me take them over to here. Ended up being just a full-out arcade, load up some swipe cards with some money. I did such, handed one each to both my kids, and it's like, all right, guys, like, off you go.
Right,
and wouldn't you damn well know it, the game that my son decided to sprint to and spent what must have been at least 80% of his tokens was on Minecraft Dungeons.
Of course it was.
A game that I have on the system that they play on weekends I take them to an arcade that has a literal roller coaster. It has a rock band simulator, like the whole big thing with cars. It has huge guns. It has fake cars with guns. It has motorcycles and cars. It's just everything in the world. Minecraft. Dungeons, man. Like,
I can picture like your kids just taking off, and you're like this happy as a clam. You're like, look it, I'm creating these memories, and they go, no, and you just see them run over to the Minecraft station. You're like, how much did they pay for this game right now?
Almost immediate. It was pretty much that. It was like bees to honey. They just bolted for it. Now, so the mechanic I was explaining to you, it is very cool.
It is cool.
These people know what they're doing. Because
totally.
A la Pokemon, you gotta catch them all. Every time you play, it's Minecraft Dungeons. It's an arcade version, 4-player, big console, big beautiful unit if you ever look it up. Every time you swipe to get a token to play this thing, a physical card drops down below. There's a little card slot. So the out pops is beautifully designed, by the way. Like, it's really nice. Out pops this beautiful foil physical card. This card can be scanned. So it's all random. There's a bunch of different classes and like rarities and everything else like that. So you can scan it immediately and add to your character on screen armor, a particular weapon, a upgrade like an animal companion or some special cloak or like whatever else like that. So you get all these so every time he puts in another quarter, he's like quote unquote quarter,
right,
to play this game, he gets another card. So not only is this a game he wants to play, but it's just feeding that collector shiny gotta catch 'em all mentality. Because every time I play this game, hooray, I get to play, but I also get a new card. What am I gonna get next? I gotta get every one. So now we got this massive stack of these damn cards in my house, and I guess he'll collect them all. And I swear, I can almost hear it already that I'm going to be asked to go here again this weekend just so he can get more cards. It's not even, he won't even say so I can play the game.
No,
he's going to say so I can get more cards, because they keep working. Like if you get some super rare one, you can bring it back to this machine, use it again. It's such a deviously perfect hook.
It totally is. They knew what they were doing. Like, that is genius. I think that is really innovative, creative. It entices me to go and do it. It just, rather than pump out those tickets that you take up to the counter and get like a lollipop after 2,000 or something, I would rather you collect these things that you can use in the game. Even, bring a friend along and be like, hey man, I could power you up. I got this sword +2, whatever. Like,
it'd be kind of cool if I'm not mistaken, it might be some version of Gauntlet Legends. Eventually, like you could enter codes and like actually kind of level up your guy. Like there was some persistent. I don't think it's on this one. That would be really cool. Like if
that would be.
You keep scanning like the weapon, and every time you play, like you can level it up so it's more powerful.
Oh, they're not going to get away with that. Yeah, they're going to be like, here's your level 1 weapon, and that's it forever.
That's all you get.
Yeah. What a great idea, though. I don't know.
It's super cool. I feel a little bit better that he spent all his money there, given how that gameplay loop was awesome.
Yeah.
In a sense, you can understand from a kid's perspective how appealing it is, especially since he collects Pokemon cards.
Right.
So like this whole card thing is like it's right up his alley. And the cards are cool too. They're reusable, but I don't know if any of the gaming dads had seen this before. It sounded like this is the first time you'd ever heard of it.
So my kids have played this game in the arcade, and I want to ask them, maybe after this show, I'll wake them up from a deep sleep, to say, hey,
Dad's got to know.
I have this question. Like, were there character cards in this? Because it looks like the same unit, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was pumping up cards, and maybe my kids were just so oblivious to it that they didn't get them. I don't know.
Lord.
That's what I want to find out, because I imagine it's not in front of your face, and they're just like, whatever, lights and stuff.
So some kid walked up to this machine after your kids had spent like an hour on it, and there was like 20 cards.
Probably.
It's like, jackpot!
Like, look at this! Just fans them out in front of your face. Like, just... Yeah, I could totally see it happen. But
this one's super rare. It's worth $80.
This is going to be a great... I hope they went back to school and they're like, you went on vacation, but really the highlight of this show was going to this Minecraft arcade. It was just about Minecraft.
If any of his friends asks, I guarantee you that's the first thing he mentioned.
Yeah.
Oh, Bless their hearts.
Creating memories there, Trevor.
It's all cool. There's something I almost would like to not promote it, but just I know how much he loved it. I love to keep going back and doing it, but it's so oppressively expensive.
Yeah.
To just because he'll go through. I gave them both on this particular occasion like $20 each on their cards, which I thought was fairly generous. But like he blasted through it, and it wasn't an hour.
Yeah, that doesn't last long.
So like, what am I gonna like? What are we gonna like $20 a session so that he can get like 6 of the same cards like every time? Like where are we gonna go with this?
I don't know. I'm seeing the video here, and you can collect pets, like pet cards. That is dangerous, man. Like this is this considered gambling?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like this seems pretty loot boxy. Like
it feels a bit like an not untapped. Like so there was they've started to watch videos where they were playing. It was a Spyro title, and you could place physical characters onto the board, and then they would. If you remember that one, Disney had a similar thing. So like there's a physical thing, slam the physical piece on, it shows up in your game. That's great.
Skylanders was big here. And
Skylanders, that's the one. And my kids want it. Like, oh, we want to play this one. It's like, oh, that's not supported anymore. I'm wondering why it's not supported anymore, because it seems like, imagine even if it was just this card version. Let's say Minecraft takes this out of the arcades and just like lets you scan via phone or whatever. Like
that's a good idea. Like,
but at least like I could get more into that, because then every now and then you could just buy them a pack, and then they can scan whatever certain thing, and then it shows up in their game, and it's fun. And then the actual using of it isn't oppressively expensive, right?
Again, good idea. And Minecraft's not going anywhere. Let's be honest. Skylanders died, but Minecraft could be used for a while. Maybe
so. Yeah, I'll be curious to see. Maybe if this takes off enough, it'll translate. Who knows?
It'll be your idea, or you like royalties. You're like, hey, look, New Dad Gaming again, coming out, and just
we're on the cutting edge.
That's right.
Kid dad base playing. This last one, we'll just finish up here quickly for the week. I was curious. If you had asked me, did Jeff pre-order Diablo 4? Because you've been on record of the show of playing Diablo 3 with your kids.
Yes.
Which I look up to. I can't wait till mine are old enough to do this with, because I'd love to play it. You did not pre-order Diablo 4, because this week it launched the open beta that if you bought the upper tier of this game, you can get the first beta access in front of everybody else. So in my mind, I thought we're going to get on here, you're going to tell me your Diablo experience, and you didn't even pre-order.
I'm here to disappoint you, Trevor. That's
day by day.
It's a little rich for my blood right now to get into that open beta. But I will say that I've heard through friends who did play the beta with their kids that the menus. So the problem with Diablo 3 is that if you were in a menu, it would just pause the game for everybody. Well, it wouldn't pause the game, but everybody would be in a menu. And this one person can be in there and the other one can be moving around. Or you could be in different menus at different times, which to me as a new dad is a big plus.
Nice.
The con, before we go, I will say that this friend confirmed that it's only 2-player couch co-op. So you have to pick your favorite kid and bring dad along and level up your characters.
Who brought me it's like, Jimmy, your grades have been really great, but Donnie Boy there brought me a coffee and work today, and I appreciated that a lot. So come on up, you're the winner tonight, buddy. Let's go. The other one, get to bed. Get out of my sight.
Exactly. It's not for you tonight. That's it. Maybe tomorrow you can try better.
You can do better.
That's right.
So I'll be curious to hear from any of the gaming dads if they jumped in to the demo or into the beta, if they've had experiences with it, if they had to play with the kids. And on that note and that call for people to reach out, everybody, that's our show. We would like to hear from you. Hey, you can find us on Twitter at NewDadGaming or our website, newdadgaming.com. Have you taken your kids to an arcade and be horrifically disappointed when they play the games they have at home? Have you been cheating on your own games, and how do you feel about your kids cheating on games for quality of life? Do you have your own tips for traveling dads? Anything else that could help the community? Speaking with dads on Twitter and elsewhere has been one of the greatest parts of it. Again, reach out to us at NewDadGaming, newdadgaming.com. If you like the podcast, you can find us on all the major podcasting networks. Just search for New Dad Gaming. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Caster, any of the networks. New Dad Gaming. find us there. While there, something that really helps the show, I can't really stress this enough, if you do subscribe and if you leave a comment and a rating. It really helps to boost the signals, helps us get out there to more gaming dads. I'm hoping to start a Minecraft Dungeon trading card network.
You might need it.
just so we can collect them all. So it's going to cost less. Or at very least, we can put together a petition to get them for some sort of offline version at home.
Yes.
Everybody, thanks so much for listening. That'll do it for this week. Until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 12-year-old, a 9-year-old, and up, down, left, right, BA, start. Cheating in my emulator games.
Remember, everybody, just because you became a dad
does not mean it's game over, especially the cheat codes.
That's right. It never ends. It's great. I'll just scan this card here.
That's right.
Okay, cheats via scan.
See?
So cheats on a QR code, hold it up to the webcam.
I think we got a good idea.
1,000 lives.
Look.
Every show.
Great.
All right, man. See you next week.
See you later.